Obstacles for enlightenment.
We must see what the mental blocks are. Most often it is fear of enlightenment itself which becomes a block, or lack of confidence. Otherwise people make it quite easily. Yes, normally after the Diksha is taken, its lifetime is about 6 months. So in the following weeks, in the following months, it could happen. But the only drawback here is if you're subjected to too much of stress, then it dies down. But let us say if you were to lead a very tranquil, calm life, especially near water bodies like lakes and rivers, the process will restart and complete itself. But then if you are going to live in a city like New York with its pollution and stress levels, it could become very difficult. Even there it is possible if somehow you could change your mental perception and you were to enjoy the crowds of New York and enjoy New York life, still the process would continue. But if you become judgmental and if you start condemning aspects of that life, then the process stops.
The awakened one arises from the heart. The unawakened one arises from the head.
Joy and happiness are destroyed when the self assumes control. Self-knowledge is the beginning of wisdom. When the self is quiet, there is freedom, love and joy. Sri Bhagwan.
Sri Bhagavan's quotes. There are no prerequisites to experience grace, other than a personal relationship with the divine. The wall of separation is an illusion. Sri Bhagavan.
Secrets of Success. Sri Bhagavan says, dependent on you, life experiences. Arises you, life references.
We today bring you the miracle of Himadri Shailendra Sinha from Baroda, Gujarat. Sharing one of the many miracles we have experienced in the last 2 weeks. My son, aged 19, was diagnosed with COVID-19 with a very high viral load on the 17th January at 5 p.m. I talked to the doctor and rushed out for medicines. I asked my son to immediately isolate himself and go to the first floor room. He was in physical discomfort with an unusually severe backache. For him, a sportsman and physically strong young man, To be in such pain was a distressing sight. My wife was running a training session at the time and was unaware of the situation. She had also tested, but her report was still awaited. At home, the stress was quite clearly visible in me and my 81-year-old mother, whose primary concern was leaving my son alone on the first floor without anyone to even look after him. She wanted him to continue to stay at the ground floor where we all were. Obviously, I couldn't allow this. She was deeply disturbed due to this. We tried desperately to contact the lab for getting my wife's reports, but there was no response for almost 2 hours. Stress levels were rising. Of course, I had started praying and we were asking the divine to help and take care of our son and all of us. At the same time, I was concerned about my mother as well. She being 81 and a diabetic who takes insulin injections, I was deeply concerned. I rushed just in the nick of time before the lab's closure to get my wife's RT-PCR report. I was hoping for a negative report, but as the divine's plan went, she too was positive, but with a very low viral load. With a lump in my throat and a bit worried, I gave my sample as well and rushed back home. While the stress of taking care of these two was mounting, all of a sudden it dawned on us why Sri Paramajyoti Bhagavati Bhagwan delivered a positive report for my wife. It was done with the intent to help my son so that he could be taken care of while he was in agony. Sri Paramajyoti Bhagavati Bhagwan ensured that he is not left without active care and monitoring. This was a relief to all of us. In the 2 hours that I struggled to get my wife's report, we are sure Sri Paramajyoti Bhagavati Bhagwan performed the miracle and delivered the positive report, that too with a very low viral load, which came back negative within 72 hours. Such are the wonderful ways of our loving Sri Paramajyoti Bhagavati Bhagwan, who bless us with miracles in myriad ways. What most would take as a painful news was indeed a blessing for our family. Today, with the blessings of Sri Paramajyoti Bhagavati Bhagwan, all of us are doing well. Incidentally, my mother and I also tested positive later, but with divine intervention are now well. May Sri Paramajyoti Bhagavati Bhagwan continue to shower us with their blessings and continue to help us on the path of total surrender.
Kalki Sangha. Everyday Kalki Sangha volunteers carry out various service activities across hundreds of locations all over the country. Every day we present one such activity. Pithapuram, Andhra Pradesh. Sangha members lent a helping hand to the elderly people and took blessings from them. Pithapuram Sangha members organized a medical camp, gave them opticals and did arrangements for eye operations for those who are in need. They also prayed for their well-being and also taught them the power of prayer. Beneficiaries felt so happy and thanked all the Sangha members. Sangha members expressed their gratitude to Kalki for bestowing this kind of Seva Bhagya.
പൊന്നേ പൊന്നയ്യനെ പൊന്നേ പൊന്നയ്യനെ പൊന്നു തമ്പുരാനെ ഭഗവാൻ പൊന്നിറം ചൂടി നിൽക്കും രാജാധിരാജനെ
പൊന്നേ പൊന്നയ്യനെ പൊന്നു തമ്പുരാനെ ഭഗവാൻ പൊന്നിറം ചൂടി നിൽക്കും രാജാധിരാജനെ
എന്നിഷ്ട ദൈവമേ എന്നിഷ്ട ദൈവമേ എന്നാവിർഭാവമേ എന്നിൽ കുടിയിരിക്കും എന്നാത്മനാഥനെ
എന്നിഷ്ട ദൈവമേ എന്നാവിർഭാവമേ എന്നിൽ കുടിയിരിക്കും എന്നാത്മനാഥനെ
പൊന്നേ പൊന്നയ്യനെ പൊന്നേ പൊന്നയ്യനെ പൊന്നു തമ്പുരാനെ ഭഗവാൻ പൊന്നിറം ചൂടി നിൽക്കും രാജാധിരാജനെ